Today is for you if you want to make changes in your health and you want to do it on your own. Today in this Kiss from Kristin, I'm going to share 3 easy actions that you can get started with right now, and you are going to start to see a shift when you're implementing them consistently. And by the way, if you're here watching, leave me a comment. Let me know you were here. And if you haven't subscribed, click subscribe. It is the easiest way for you to stay in my world. So I'm Kristin Wood, your favorite body wellness coach, and I work with women to help them create long-lasting habits that work for them so that they can shift their health and start to have weight loss as a happy side effect. So I get it. You want to do this on your own. You think it should be possible. I mean, it's not that you're lacking information. There is information all over the internet. It's not that. So how's that going for you? Maybe you have been afraid to ask for help because of maybe a fear of shame of where you've let your health deteriorate to. Maybe it's financial. You just don't want to spend the money. You don't trust that you're going to show up and do the thing because you don't do it on your own. But I still see you spending the money on all the gimmicky things that don't give you lasting success. And maybe you're like me and you didn't know that there is this person that can help you improve your health. I was 49 years old when I found out about a health coach and a life coach. And man, I needed one when I was 15. Everywhere 15 to 49, I needed that person, but I didn't know about him. And now I have taken what I've gained from my health coaching certification and my life coaching certification, and I've meshed them together to be a body wellness coach, because it's never just the health and it's never just the life. It's always a combination that has us stuck in unwanted habits. So you can do this on your own. I know you can if you can just be consistent, show up consistently, do the things you need to do. I know you can do it on your own. I also know it's hard to work through your stories on your own. It's hard to work through them so that you can actually show up and do the things. But today, I'm giving you 3 places that you can start. You see, as a coach, I work around the premise that health is a skill. And unfortunately, we are not taught these skills. And most often, we actually are working against our body. So these 3 tips are going to work with your body so that your body starts to shift more towards health. And that's when you get to start healing yourself. Your body can heal itself. So the first one I want to talk about is chewing your food. I know you heard this as a kid, and I know you need it as a reminder as an adult. I like to tell my clients, you did not get a garbage disposal in your stomach. You did get teeth in your mouth. So it's up to you to chew your food properly so that your body doesn't have to work extra hard to process the food, to assimilate out the nutrients so that you have the fuel you need to function. We have this finite amount of resources in our body. And if you are pulling the resources from something else so that you can your stomach can process the food that you didn't chew, then you're stealing from some other function that maybe is really necessary. And because of that, you might be having some kind of health issue that you just can't figure out why. Well, let's chew your food and see what happens. This is totally free. Nobody even has to know that you're putting extra thought or time into chewing. It just happens. Everybody chews. You just start progressing that. Notice today, if you're chewing your food 3 times before you swallow, double it. And then once you're comfortable with that, double it again. You want to be looking at 30 to 50 times per bite. And, if it's pudding, it's going to be different than if it's steak. But you're gonna get the feel that you want to chew your food. Now, the second thing is drink water. The rule of thumb is half your body weight in ounces of water each day. If you're really active, you might need a little more. Probably, I can't think of a reason that you would want less, but you just might want more. Another thing that I use to guide me, because sometimes I feel like maybe I drink too much water, is how often am I going to the bathroom? A good gauge is every hour and a half to 2 hours, you should need to go relieve yourself. If you're more than that, if you're going more frequently than that, you might be drinking too much water. If you're not going that frequent, then you definitely need to get more water. So kind of use the body weight and the time frame as two separate gauges to kind of see where you land. Again, this is totally free. And I like to give my clients this image. Imagine a puddle in your driveway, or maybe the water in your bird bath. And it's just sitting there stagnant. There's nothing flowing in, nothing flowing out. What happens? Well, it's going to get a little murky. It's probably going to start smelling. Going to have some fungusy stuff growing on it, some yucky stuff. It's just no longer a pretty body of water. And you are water. Such a large amount of us is water. We need that water flowing in and flowing out, or you run the risk of being a stagnant puddle of water. Just saying, get your water. Now, both of these are super simple to do, and they're super simple not to do. So if you find yourself not doing them, that's when you need to look for help. That's when you need to ask a coach for help. You need some accountability. You need some support. If you're going to go build a house, you're not just going to go off doing it on your own. You're going to ask for help. You're going to seek help from a builder, an architect, someone that knows what they're doing. If you take up a new hobby, you're going to ask for help from someone who's done it, someone that knows the ins and outs. If you don't, you run the risk of wasting time and supplies. And we all know that if you're into sports, you're going to have a coach, because the coach is going to see things that you're just too close to see. So if you find that drinking water and chewing your food is too difficult to show up and do consistently, then let's look at what is blocking you. I've got a free 45-minute Unlock Your Wellness session where we're going to talk about where you're at now, what goals you have for your health, and what are the roadblocks that you're coming up against. And we're going to make a plan that moves you forward. So book that if you're running up against a roadblock and not able to show up. Now, the third thing is movement. We all need movement. You can call it exercise if you want. I call it movement. You have to know where you're at today. It's not going to be something you can stick to jump in to some big, huge movement commitment. Honestly, tell yourself where you're at today. If you are not getting movement every day, then we want to focus on starting you at 10 minutes a day. Something that you can do 10 minutes every day consistently. And when that no longer feels like a chore that you're going to die from doing, then you add 5 minutes. And you keep up leveling it by 5 minutes until you reach 60 minutes of movement. And once you're at 60 minutes, then you can start increasing the intensity. So it's just an evolving progression that you can go more and more with. And I want you to think of the movement as something. What is that thing that you did when you were a kid that you enjoyed and you could get lost in, and it was just hours went by, but you were doing this thing? If that's movement, how can you bring that into your adult life? Think of a baby. They just roll around, stretching and reaching and having a good time, bouncing around, jumping around. And that's how they're growing their muscles, their mind, their bodies. But at some point, we're like, no, it's got to be more structured. It really doesn't. If you enjoy going to the gym, go to the gym. If you don't, there are tons of things that you can do in the comfort of your own home or out in nature. But start thinking about what is it that you loved as a child, and then we're going to start small with 10 minutes every day, work it up to 15 minutes, then 20 minutes. You've got this. And if you feel like you don't, reach out and book that 45-minute Unlock Your Wellness session, and let's make a plan for you so that you do start moving forward. I hope you got some value out of this, and I'll be back next week with another kiss from Kristin. In the meantime, remember, I'm here to help you fast track your way to better health, and like and share this video so that other people get to see it as well. I'll see you soon.